Take a look at this clip when Yo Gotti was on the Breakfast Club being questioned about the beef between him and Young Dolph.
And TMZ reports you're on the LAPD's radar in connection to the Young Dolph shooting.
Me and Home never had one argument. You know what I'm saying? Ever in life.
If you know Gotti, he's not the kind to you've probably never seen him pop off or argue out in public or bring attention to himself in that regard to show anger. But you can believe that there are people around. He keep people around him because he's from North Memphis, from the Ridgecrest apartments in Fraser in North Memphis, and there's some rowdy people there. And I know he kept people on his team that he came up with that would make some noise when he wouldn't.
We never touched each other ever in life. We never exchanged no money ever in life. You know.
And then too, the other thing too, like if you know anything about Memphis, it's like there are very few instances where, at least from a music rap territory type of thing, you have people who rap from North Memphis, you have people that rap from South Memphis, and this is what you had. You had Gotti from North Memphis, and you had Dolph from South Memphis, and they really didn't go to you wouldn't go to a place where they were both performing at the same time. It just wouldn't happen that way. Just because you had it's just like it would be too volatile of an environment to have people who support heavily one artist that represented their hood, and another artist from from I won't say a neighboring hood, just from a different hood. You just wouldn't see it. So that explains why they never really had any interaction with each other, because they just it just doesn't happen that way.
I'm saying the facts is just I'm the biggest rapper from Memphis.
Now that's where it went down. That's when it went left, because God felt slighted. If you just keep it 100, he felt slighted because Dolph wasn't jumping on his bandwagon. Like, you got to remember too, Gotti came up behind 3-6. 3-6 came up behind 8 Ball and MJG. When 8 Ball and MJG, they passed the torch to 3-6. 3-6 didn't really develop a lot of local artists. They really kept everything to themselves. And I think you can look at that as good and bad. I think a lot of what they've done behind the scenes have contributed to their longevity today. They made everything in house. They made beats. They made they wrote stuff. They did everything in house. A lot of the production themselves. They didn't pull a whole lot of external people into the fray. Gotti wanted to be a part of that. He wanted to get their blessing. He wanted to get their endorsement that he was the next one up, and that just never happened in the way that he wanted to. Now, ultimately, he did make his way that way, but it was a long road. He paid a lot of dues, paid a lot of money, went through a whole lot of things from in the music business that sometimes. A lot of people, it's paying dues, I guess, is what you would probably just reduce it to. And Dolph wasn't playing by those rules. He wasn't paying dues. He wasn't going up through another dude to get to where he wanted to go. He wanted to pave his own way, and God just didn't want that. He wanted to be the one who was on the throne, who was the king of Memphis, who was the gatekeeper of the next step up. He was going to be the next one up on the Memphis rap scene, and Young Dolph came out of nowhere. Really, he didn't. He had his own lane. He paved his own way, and I think that's where the conflict happened.
I actually was helping him. Mm-hmm. I really just wanted to sign him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Giving him.
I don't know about the helping piece. I've never heard that piece. I mean, if it was some help, it must have been some crumbs, because They really didn't have anything in common, outside of being from Memphis and both of them rapping. It just wasn't there. It wasn't. I couldn't see anything overt that said, yeah, this is what I'm doing to help this dude come up next. I don't remember seeing anything, where they was on each other's show, where uh, Dolph was opening up or showing up at shows, where they're doing something together. That actually could have been really good, to have North Memphis and South Memphis sharing the stage together. You have other ways. Like nowadays, you got Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo, but that was a different thing. I think at the time, Dolph was just in his own lane, and he just wasn't going to let anybody just you know siphon off the success that he built for himself.
Advice, letting them come out on my shows. You know what I'm saying? Like telling them how the game goes. Letting my people work with them.
He wasn't. He saw his title, his notoriety, his hard work slipping away fast when Dolph came into the picture. You can kind of see how, if you listen to him, there's a bravado there that that Gotti gave off. And if you talk to Dolph he was the same way. And you just can't have two people who are hell bent, who are absolutely motivated out of just from their environment, wanting to succeed. You just can't have two people like that share the stage.
You know what I mean? Like to advise them on how to build this company up. It was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Then we just took a left turn somewhere.